This call is being recorded.
All right, all right. Shark. Hey, this is Coach 100K, helping you make six figures in this industry. And I'm so excited to be here with you this morning, guys. Super excited. I just want to say one thing this morning before we get started, and that is that the extra degree that changes everything. And that's just this point where you go from just hot water to steam, and they say that 210 degrees, 211 degrees, hey, it's just hot water. But boy, you get to 212 degrees, it turns into some steam. And so I just want you guys to think about the extra degree necessary to break through and doing that part to get hot enough to cause steam to come from your business. All right. So listen, I'm gonna get out of the way. I want to bring on the real deal. He say he's not the real deal, but to me, he's the real deal because he's a doer of what he says. He puts his action. He's an actioneer. Puts his action in front of his words, and he does that by building big teams fast. Got a book out how to build a big team fast, and your breakthrough is guaranteed. And he is the Uplift International Global Trainer as well as the number one income earner Shoplift Crown Six. I don't know if that's going to be the last one. Maybe do Crown 7 here. I don't know, Crown 8. But have a welcome to the call, Dr. Stan Harris. Hey, Dr. Breakthrough, it's breakthrough time.
Shark. Well, hey, everybody, we got a very special guest this morning, so I need you to text, tweet, tell people whatever you do, don't miss this call. Becky A. Davis is about to light the lines up. Trust me, my friend. You heard Les Carter speak so highly about her and so forth, but now this is the day. So real quick, let's just have our daily attitude adjuster, and then I want you to be texting people while I'm going through this. And about 3 minutes, we'll bring Becky A. Davis on, and your life will never be the same again if you listen and implement what she has to say. So, wow, what a great day to be alive. I feel dynamite. I like me. I accept me. I love me. I'm going to have a super fantastic day today because I'm too blessed to be depressed. I'm too blessed to be stressed, too glad to be sad. I'm too anointed to be disappointed, too elated to be agitated, too grounded to be confounded, too saved not to be getting paid, and too legit to quit. Circumstances are lining themselves in my favor. I'm healthy, physically fit, and intellectually equipped. I have wisdom far beyond my years. I'm an extraordinary person with incredible abilities, which I will use to add value to others' lives, knowing that as I empower others to reach their dreams, I will automatically reach my own. I anticipate meeting the person or group of people today who are willing to use their power, wealth, and influence to empower me to achieve my dreams. All day long, people will go out of their way to bless me. Today, I will add great value to someone's life. I will show compassion to those in need. I will give strength to the weak and inspiration to the weary. Someone needs what I have to offer, and I gladly make myself available. I embrace abundance, and it embraces me. I'm abundant in every good way. I am an abundance magnet. I like money, and it likes me. And it's attracted to me, and it comes abundantly from many sources. Money flows freely and frequently from expected and unexpected sources in exchange for the value that I consistently bring to the marketplace. I circulate God's money wisely because it's a tool to help those in need, and it's also a way of keeping score of how many people's lives I added value to. I may have been broke, busted, and disgusted, but now I declare I'm rich, growing, and overflowing. My business is booming, and checks are zooming. I'm happy on purpose. I'm experiencing great victories, supernatural turnarounds, and miraculous breakthroughs in the midst of great impossibilities. I am an overcomer. And if my mountain can't be removed, I'll develop and practice my mountain climbing skills. I may experience a setback, but setbacks are only setups for comebacks. As a matter of fact, setbacks pave the way for comebacks. I make lemonade out of life's lemons. And if life dares to knock me down, well, I'll just fall on my back, realizing that as long as I can look up, by the grace of God, I can get up. I commit to paying for my dreams with preparation and perspiration. so I won't have to live with my nightmares of regret. I do not procrastinate because procrastination, well, it leads to devastation. It is the assassination of my destination. Thus, I will act now. I'm a doer. I get results at last. I now release the champion that is inside of me. I am the leader that multitudes of people are looking for, so I choose to succeed today and every day hereafter. Watch out, world, here I come. And we say, watch out, world, here we come. A team of sharks, my friend, going out there attacking what we want. So let's take a deep breath, symbolizing that we receive the words that were spoken, that we receive them in. So take a deep breath and let it out. All righty. Well, quick. I'm going to. I'm just so excited, my friend. The speaker that we have today is literally, my friend, going to bless you in a way like you probably haven't been blessed in a while. Becky A. Davis. She is a very, very powerful woman. As a matter of fact, my friend, you heard Les Carter speak so highly about her. She's a national spokesperson for the Coca-Cola Company's 5x20 Step Training Initiative for Women Entrepreneurs, Forbes Official Council Coach. Becky A. Davis, she's the Chief Bosspreneur, Business Growth Architect. And I'm telling you, my friend, she's the CEO and Chief Bosspreneur of MVP Work, LLC, and she's one of the nation's leading business experts, as recognized by top media outlets. And just incredible information. You got to check out our website, www.beckyadavis.com. That's beckyadavis.com. So again, she comes highly recommended by our Crown Ambassador, Les Carter, who spoke so highly about her in her book. So Becky, take it away. Thank you for taking time out to be here with the Breakthrough Uplift Leadership Call, where we uplift ourselves, uplift each other, and together we uplift the world.
Thank you so much, Dr. Breakthrough. I appreciate that amazing introduction. That just that got me excited. I was like, okay, that me? I think he's talking about me. So I'm excited to be here with you on the call today, and thanks for Les for sharing with me the information even about the call. So I appreciate him. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today was really a part of my life and my story, and have found it to be a part of almost everybody's life and their story, and how we deal with things, especially when there's a desire that we have, a goal that we have, an outcome that we want, a result that we want to reach. Anytime there's something that we are striving for, we all know things start to get in the way. So I wanted to talk today about the breakdown before the breakthrough, which is in line with Dr. Breakthrough. So I wanted to talk about that for a few minutes and kind of share some of my story with you regarding that, because for me, I have learned for every dream or aspiration that I have ever had, as I can look back, there was always some type of breakdown before the breakthrough. And I look back and realize that there were some breakdowns that I never got through the breakthrough because I stayed in the breakdown too long. So really just, I remember I was 25 years old, and I had just got a new job, went to the a training. My company had sent me out for this training. It was a full day training. The training was done by this company that came in, and it was a group of us, the new hires that was in this full day training. And the lady went through the training, and I was captivated the entire time. And she was from during that time there were skill path coaches, and she was a skill path coach, and she took us through all this training for the day. And I was like totally thrilled, because for a full 8 hours training, it's hard to stay engaged through the entire day. Well, I was fully captivated, and I sat in my seat and looking and listening to what she did, and I was like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to empower and impact people and share information. And so I was totally captivated. after the class was over and during one of the breaks, I asked her, who do you work for? How did you get this job? How did you get to this place? So she kind of shared some information with me about being a trainer and speaking, and that she worked for Skill Path, and she talked about the speaking and training that she took. So I immediately from that was like, oh my God, I want to do that. And so I started researching. Now this was over 25 years ago, when I'm in this classroom. So there were no computers. Google wasn't around, and so I went to the library. And when I went to the library, I got on the computer and just started researching about speaking. While I'm on the computer, I figure I read some stuff and find Dale Carnegie. So I'm in the library, so I go find Carnegie books, and Dale Carnegie had a book on speaking and presentation. So I'm sitting in the library reading this book because I'm so excited I can't even get the book home. And I read this book, and the book is referencing Dale Carnegie's speaking classes and courses. So I go back to the computer and I start looking Dale Carnegie to find that there's a Dale Carnegie school training and workshop for speakers within my area. And so I called the number, find out what the process was. They tell me, and at the time, I'm a single mother. I had recently separated, going through a divorce from my husband. And I was thinking, how in the world am I going to do this? I don't have the money to pay for this, and the class was $1,000. And so it was around the time tax was coming, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna use my tax dollars, and I'll pay for this class. I go through and I paid for the class, and I started going through the Dale Carnegie speaking training workshop, and I'm excited, and I'm competitive too by nature, so I want to be the best one in the class of the students. So I'm learning the things that I need to learn, and each night there was a competition, so to speak, but we would have to present, and another person present would get critiqued. And so I was just it was great. I was enjoying it, loving that process. And after it was all over and we were graduating from the course, one of the presenters came up to me and said, Becky, this is something that you should definitely consider as a career. And I thought, oh my God, that's what I was thinking too. So for them to say that to me made me think, oh, so it must, the training and everything that I presented, they see something in me. And so I was like, I'm really interested in it. I'm just, this is new to me. I'm learning, have to kind of figure out how I navigate this. And so they asked if I was interested in being one of the Dale Carnegie speakers and trainers. And I just saw the heavens had opened up, and I was getting ready to jump into this thing that I had been so excited about. Well, when they asked me, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely interested. Well, I didn't know at the time that to be one of those trainer speakers, to be certified, there was a fee attached to that to go out and do those trainings. So when they told me what the fee was, I had just scraped by that $1,000 to do that course, and so there was no way I was going to be able to afford to go through this training at that time. So I was like, I can't afford to do it right now. So one of the trainers said, "Well, Becky, if you can't do it now, you just think about it long term. It's something you definitely need to be doing this. But I know someone who can help you out. There's a coach that can take you even deeper. So I'm piecing together money again to go and work with this coach, a speaker coach, to help me, just kind of fine tune and put together a presentation. So I hired this coach, started working with her, learning a lot of different things. And I remember one day she said, okay, Becky, it's time for you to step out. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, you need to now start to put your information out there and start seeking organizations and companies to have you speak. She said, you have this down. You just have to take the next step now. Well, I was scared to take the next step, but because there was someone saying, you got this, you can do it, I was like, okay. I go back to the library. And when I get to the library, I go through a list of companies. And in Dallas, I was from Dallas, lived in Dallas at the time. That's my home. There were your regular yellow pages, and then there were black pages. The black pages were companies that were owned by women, people of color. And so I pulled the black pages out and said, well, I'll start there. And I started sending out I printed up these letters, and I created a promotional flyer. And I wrote out to all of these companies that I thought I would want to speak for. And I mailed about 100 letters out. I get the letters out. I'm still working, doing my thing, and I get a call back from a company. I get home. There's a message on my phone from our congressman. So it was a congressman within the Metro Dallas area that was having this big political gala, and at the gala, they were looking for a motivational speaker, and I had titled my company "Motivation on the Move." With Becky, and I had put some of the things that talk about, and they got that flyer, gave me a call, left me a message. They were interested in having me speak at one of the political events that they were having. They were looking for someone to start off with a motivational talk. And I got so excited. I was thrilled to death. I was like, yes. I called my coach and told her, hey, I got a call from John Wiley Price's office, and they're looking for me to speak. And she was like, okay, here's what you charge. And she said, charge $500 to speak at this event. I said, okay, great. And that just blew me away. And I was like, $500, 25 years ago. I'm thinking at 25, $500. I was like, yeah, but they only want me to speak for like 30, 40 minutes. She was like, yeah, $500. Are you serious? And so I was like, oh, this is really going to be good. I get excited. I pick up the phone to call them and have this conversation with them. And before I could hit a send for the call to go through, everything in my body chemistry changed, shifted immediately. And I hung up the phone and I stopped. And I was like, okay, wait a minute, hold on. I'm 25 years old. What in the heck am I going to say to this group of political community? How how am I going to inspire someone that's twice my age? They're gonna look at me crazy. Oh my God, what if they want their money back? What if they pay me and then after it's over say, that's not what we paid for, and they want their money back? Becky, what the heck are you thinking? And the more I spoke to myself, the more I believed everything I said to myself. So I did pick up the phone and I dialed the number. And when I got to the lady who was coordinating the event, she was excited. She was like, "We would love to have you come and speak." And their speaker budget was 500, so it was like, "Oh my goodness!" I tell her I was like, "I'm excited. Would love to speak for you at your event, but unfortunately, I have another speaking engagement that exact same day, and I won't be able to do it." And she was disappointed. It was like, okay, well, we'll definitely reach back out to you. I hung up the phone. And when I hung up the phone, I just thought, wow, I just lied my way out of that. And everything just started to go crazy for me. I was second guessing everything I did. I decided, well, you need to just go ahead and, if you can't do this event and this is what you say you want and this is your dream to do, if you can't do this, Becky, maybe this is not for you. So you need to just let this go. And I did everything that I told myself. I did just that. I threw myself 100% into the work that I was doing with the company that I was working for, and I would only think about being a speaker and a trainer. It would pop up here and there for me throughout the time in my life. It took 25 years for me to actually make that dream come true. 25 years later, for me to make that dream come true because everything started to happen. My mental thoughts started to break down on me. And every time I was ready for this big thing in life, everything will start to go wrong. Break down in thinking, in action, in doing. Other things will start to happen in my life, things with my daughter. Everything will start to break down. And then I would immediately begin, okay, well, maybe I should hold off. Maybe this is for something later. It took a while for me to realize that the breakdown always happened because of the breakthrough that's coming if you continue to walk towards what you're seeking. But so often in my life, I would stop walking towards what I was seeking because the breakdown took over. And the breakdown took over because of all of the things that I told myself, all of the things that I said to myself. All of that would start to take over and it would change the things that I would do because one of the things that I realized belief creates two things, it creates facts and fables. And in the stories of breakdown, I would create these thoughts in my mind that I would start to believe, and it would all be untrue. It would all be fables, but I believed them. And like anybody, anytime you start whatever you believe, your actions will follow what you believe, and your outcome is always based on what you believe. Whether it's a fact or a fable, your outcome will always affect what you believe. Well, breakdown before breakthrough started to show up in my life more often, but then I started to watch the patterns of what was happening in my life. And for me to say, okay, here this thing goes again, right before something great is about to happen. So this happened 5 years ago to me. Started my own company. Like, it took me 20 years to do that. Started my own company, coaching, training, speaking, author. I'm excited. At things are going. Things are going well. Not without its ups and downs, but things are going well. I do this presentation to a company, a large organization, as a partner. I pitch my company and services to this large organization as an entrepreneur, coach, and trainer. It was something that that organization was had a community involvement in, and so I'm pitching to this company, and the pitch is going really well. After the pitch, the company is interested in me being a partner with them. So I'm like super duper excited. Well, I'm waiting to hear back from them from the pitch. But during that wait, and it was a month or so before anything was ever finalized. And so I'm feeling good about the pitch, but I started to again start to have these conversations with myself. And so I got into this little funk is what I call it. I'm in a funk and I could not figure out what the funk was about. I didn't know what it was, and so I learned to you gotta take a minute because you gotta know what this is. And I remember sitting and saying, okay, I'm not going to work today because I need to figure out why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. But because it doesn't feel good, it feels negative. It feels like something bad is about to happen. But it's a reason for it. I just don't know why. So I'm sitting and I'm praying, I'm meditating, and my daughter calls me. She is 25 at the time. She calls me and she's all excited and I'm talking to her. She's like, "Hey, mom, what's wrong?" And I was like, "I really don't know. I'm just not feeling myself today." And she's like, "Well, what is it?" I was like, "I don't know. I can't put my finger on it." But she heard it through the call. And so I started to tell her about the pitch and all of that because I was excited about that. And then she said, "Well, why are you feeling the way you're feeling? It sounds like everything is good." I was like, I really don't know. And she said, "Well, I got to go. I got to go back to work." She said, "But I really don't want to get off the call with you because you sound like you're down today." And I was like, "No, go ahead. Do what you have to do. I'll be okay." Well, I'm still sitting there and I'm thinking, what is this? And as I'm thinking that, it finally hits me what it is. The contract was close to coming through. And because it was close to coming through, I started to self sabotage it. And I had to figure out, why am I self sabotaging this? Why do I not want this? And what I learned, what I got from myself, because the minute I spoke it out and said it out loud, that funk that I was feeling started to lift. And I was like, I'm afraid of what if I don't succeed? This is going to be game changer for my organization. It puts me on a totally different platform, puts me in a larger community. Now, what if other people start to now judge what I do? I don't want judgments from other people. Social media, I mean, can be crazy. It was a door that was going to also open to some television. You know, what if those people start to say things about me? Because I see how people can be. I started to again get all in my head about what was about to happen, and at that point in time, it was like, okay, no, you're going to push past this thing right here. My daughter sends me a text about 10 minutes after our call, and she said, Mom, I don't know what's going on, but let me just say this to you. She said, I'm going to tell you what you used to always tell me. God did not bring you this far to leave you. So, Mom, whatever it is that is going on, God has you. And she says, go do your thing. I can't wait to see. And I just started to cry because I was like, oh my God, out of the mouth of babes. And that was that. My breakthrough started to happen, you know, getting the text from my daughter. I started to address the things in my head that I was dealing with, so that I can push past it and speak my way past it, because as a man thinketh, so is he. And I didn't want to be that 25-year-old Becky that got so fearful and ran away from everything. I needed to be the Becky that was going to see this thing through. The minute I got out of my head, moved beyond that, spoke life into what was about to happen, and no longer speaking death to what was going to happen. At the end of the day, I got a phone call from the company that says, "Hey, just signed the agreement, and we're looking forward to working with you." And that was the Coca-Cola Company, which is how I became the national spokesperson for the Coca-Cola Company. Every time there has been on the cusp of something big, breakdown would start to happen, and I had to learn to fight through the breakdown. I realized that resistance get tough right when you get to the finish line. Anytime you're getting ready to cross the finish line, resistance says your legs hurt. Becky, you can't breathe as much as you think you can. Your arms are hurting. I see the finish line, but everything starts to mentally break down. That is when you have to kick in your second wind to push to cross that finish line, because success is scary. Period. I would never have thought that until every time there was something great about to happen. Fear would jump on my back, and I would have to fight to get the monkey off my back. Success is scary. And if you don't look at it in the face, if you don't stand fear eye to eye and tell fear to get behind, if you don't put your gloves on and you take the first punch at fear, it will continue to roar, and you will get smaller as that roar gets louder. Breakthrough, to get to breakthrough, you have to deal with the breakdown. Breakdown will come. That's natural. That is going to come. But what do you do in the midst of the breakdown? You have to grab your thoughts, and you have to grab those thoughts and bring them into the obedience of Christ. For me, that's the only thing that takes me to the next level. Is Becky, is this true what you're saying about yourself? Is it really true, or are you just scared? Well, no, it's not really true. So believing that thought is doing what to you? It's making me feel bad. It's pulling me down. It is, I'm losing energy from it. So if you remove that thought, Becky, with a different thought, what happens? I feel better. So change the thought and say the thought until you feel the thought, till you believe the thought, till you become the thought, and everything starts to change in your life. Breakdown will always happen, but you have to push yourself to move beyond breakthrough. I used to always say nobody can hurt you without your permission. And the you was always pointed towards someone else. I had to realize no one can hurt you without your permission. I am sometimes the you. I'm the nobody that I have to do something different because I am hurting myself in my thoughts and my actions. And so to move beyond that and let when those opportunity doors open, to really be able to walk through those doors, I have to accept that it's okay to be great. It's okay to stand in the power that I have. It's okay to live in the authority that I have. It's okay to walk in the anointing that I have. To use those things to get to the other side changes everything for me. And it has opened doors that I just sitting back blows my mind. The doors that it's been able to open for me, the people that I've been able to be on stages with, the connections and the relationships are people that I admire. And I had to learn that the people that I admire also admire me. That was hard to get my mind wrapped around because these are people that I was looking to say, oh my God, this person is amazing, and then to be on the stage, have a conversation, and then they tell you about you, and you're like, you know me. Those things will never happen if you stay in breakdown. Never happen if you stay in breakdown. So that I really wanted to encourage everyone on the call as you get closer to success, as you're trying to focus, you're building additional six figures, you're building multi-million dollar companies, organizations, you're changing the trajectory and the legacy of your life. How do you push past to get to the breakthrough? Dr. Breakthrough? That's
Come
what I
on,
wanted
man.
to share.
Awesome. You know, I often say that, you have to experience an overwhelming breakdown before you get the extraordinary breakthrough. And you just described that. My text was going off. People are like, oh my goodness, she's describing me. I just got my answer. The light bulb just went off. I needed it. Becky, that was so apropos, so off the chart. Thank you very much for sharing that. As a matter of fact, we have somebody that wanted to say something very special. Let's see here. You probably remember this guy. His name is Les Carter. So, Crown Ambassador Les Carter.
Well, this doesn't surprise me that Becky has been so impactful. It doesn't surprise me at all because I've gotten to know that there's a giant inside of her that she's reached in, and she's willing to share her story to encourage and motivate others, even at our church, comes to the leadership at the church to coach and teach us. And she said something very, very life-changing to me about making disciples. I was in a workshop with her at church, and she said, well, Lester, why don't you stop trying to work with the people that don't want to work with you and work with the ones that want to work with you? And I said, wow, that makes so much sense. And Becky, it has changed my life. It has changed the way I envision making disciples. I'm so relaxed, and the results are much greater because I live in gratitude. Even for the things that happen bad, I thank God for I don't lose anymore. I either win or I learn something. Thank you for all that you do. I love you, and I look forward to learning many more lessons from you.
Thank you, Les. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
Wow. Hey, I just got a text from a lady. It's like, oh my goodness, send me that replay ASAP. Not only did I need it, one of my friends really needed it, and what she's going through in life, she couldn't even be on the call. Oh, I got to have the replay. And so you are touching people's lives. But one of our global ambassadors, Shantae Kelly, Shantae, just 30 seconds to a minute, just share some appreciation. You've been my text been blowing up.
Hey, all right now.
Shantae? Okay, Shantae, you should be unmuted. I apologize. Maybe you have to unmute your phone, but you're unmuted in the system.
Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you, Champ.
Oh, you know what? To God be the glory for you, my sister. You just shared my truth. I felt like I'm getting dressed and I'm listening to you, and I'm not gonna cry because I was crying before and I'm drying them up, but because I know Dr. Breakthrough, don't you cry, Shantae, don't you cry. But I'm so emotional because I spoke through you. That's all I want to say. I just got a breakthrough beyond my wildest dreams, and I never thought. This call right here, Dr. Stan, Coach 100K, I got my team on here right now. They blowing me up. They're like, I'm on the call. This is amazing. I thank you so much, my sister. You have given me, God used you today to give me a breakthrough. And now I know I can go to the next level of multimillionaire status. I love you. Thank you in Jesus' name. Thank you, Dr. Stan. God bless. Back to you.
Come on now. Yeah, she's got a program called Boss It Up. And when I sent out the thing that you're the bosspreneur, I knew she was going to jump all over this. Wow.
That is awesome. One of the things that for me, and I'm still in learn stage. I think that with the minute you stop learning, you die. Everything dies around you, and it doesn't have to be a physical death, but other things start to die. So I'm always in learn mode. And one of the things that I am learning in this life is that you cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. They just don't go together. And so you can't.
Say that again. Somebody's trying to write that down. Say that again.
You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. And so you can speak all the positivity, but if it in the core of who you are is negative, it shows up, because what shows up in the subconscious part of the mind is what the mind really is going to focus on, and not in the conscious mind. So all of our actions comes from our subconscious, which is where our belief lives and where it lies. And so the minute you can start to change those negative thoughts that come, because they will come. It is just it's a part of our life. They will come, and if you don't capture them and bring them into obedience, I know without a shadow of a doubt that a multimillionaire is what my life will be. I know that is there. But I also know that if there's some things that I can do to stop me from ever getting to where I'm trying to go, I have to change the way I think about the things that I'm trying to get to. And all that negative stuff, it's going to always pop up to stop you from getting. I told a group that I worked in corporate America as a regional vice president. I was making a really nice six-figure salary. Everybody that knew me thought I was crazy to want to leave the company. Why would you want to leave that money? My mother was really trying to convince me to stay. And I was like, why would someone want you to not live your dreams? And then I had to really realize that everyone cannot see what you see. And I had to realize with my mother, the salary that I was making in corporate America, my mother, bless her heart, my mother was a hard worker. My discipline and work ethic comes from my mother. My mother pushed me. What I realized is that me making six figures, my mother had never reached that amount of money in her life. So it would seem crazy to her for me to want to leave that. And so I had to just accept, okay, that's just where her thinking lies. It's not where mine lies. I know that there is something greater for me. And to get to seven figures, I had to let six go. I would never reach seven as long as I held on to six. And so a lot of people would think, why would you leave six figures? And I was like, because that's the only way I'm going to get to seven. A company is not going to pay me $1 million working for them. So I have to let six go for me to get to seven.
Ooh, by the way, Becky, I was early this morning in prayer and meditation. No one ever pays you to work for them. They pay you not to work for yourself. So yeah, they'll pay you six figures, so you won't pay yourself seven figures or more. And people are not understanding that. And that, I talk about, that rocket ship, right before it hits escape velocity, it begins to rotate wildly, almost as if it's about to be shaken to pieces. And if the rocket ship were human, it'd say something like this: I'm doing everything I know to do, and it's not working. This isn't fair. But a rocket ship's not human, so it doesn't go based off its emotions. It goes based off its programming. So it does what it was designed to do. In the next instant, bam, it breaks through the Earth's atmosphere. Now that rocket ship is traveling 25,000 miles per hour. and it will virtually use no more fuel for the rest of the trip. So out of 1 million pounds of fuel that a rocket ship uses, 95% is from takeoff to escape velocity. Once it breaks to escape velocity, it will virtually use no more fuel. So in my 21-day breakthrough challenge, I help people understand, before the breakthrough, it's like all struggle and little or no success. But after the breakthrough, it's all success with seemingly no struggle. So we just got to get people to get through the struggle. So everything in life is easy, I tell people, a long time after it's hard. You just got to get through the hard part, right?
Yes.
I mean, speaking to you now is easy, but there was a time when it was hard, right? Giving your price to a company is easy now. And there was a time when it was hard. You were like, and I wonder how many people on the line today, Sister Becky, that haven't given themselves permission to succeed. They still got they've been, and they don't even understand. They've been telling themselves the fables. They've been telling themselves what they can't do. And sometimes it's a voice that's been echoed from someone else. Les Brown and I were speaking in the UK, and he said his whole topic was, which was powerful, don't allow other people's negative opinion of you to become your reality. And the thing is, though, 83% of most people's self-talk is negative. It's not even based on other people's negative opinion. It's their own negative opinions.
Exactly.
And that's what you're addressing. And that has to be changed and shifted. And that's why Romans 12:2 talks about the renewing of your mind. And so I tell people, we're going to help you to break through that stinking thinking and what if it doesn't work thinking into the breakthrough thinking, and it'll work better than I thought. And that's what you've done today. You've armed so many of us. This is so apropos. So, I mean, this is off the chart because, people, how in the world, like the company, they just had to create another position, Crown 6, and I did it in, obviously record time. But people say, how'd you do that? Well, first of all, I decided, right? I decided, and then instead of talking myself out of it, I kept talking myself into it. And then I kept saying, you know what? I'm gonna do it sooner than I said. I got it written down on my goal thing when I was gonna do it. I'm gonna do it faster than I said. And that's what I did. And so I want to be a role model like you. I want to be an example. I want to be an inspiration for people so they can say, okay, listen, if that person broke through, I can break through it. And that's what you've been doing. My text is still blowing up. Won't you tell folks if they want to get your book, how do they get your book? How do they find more about you, connect with you? What do we do?
Yes, thank you so much for that. So my website is my name, BeckyADavis.com. Any of my social media is all under Bosspreneur. So Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything is under Bosspreneur or Becky A. Davis for us to be able to connect socially. Another way is through one of the divisions within my company, which is called the Bosspreneur Business Circle. It is a platform for women entrepreneurs where we provide training, workshops to help women start, build, and scale their legacy business, leaving something for yourself and for your family, and that's the Bosspreneur Business Circle.com as another one of the websites to be able to reach out to me. I also have an academy, a training academy. Training is my that's my sweet spot. I love to be able to impact people through training. So the Bosspreneur Academy is one of my sites that is strictly focused on training their courses. I think 15 courses inside of the Bosspreneur Academy. So that's another way people can connect and engage with me. And the books that I have written are in both of those. They're in the Bosspreneur Business Circle, and they're also at BeckyADavis.com, where people can get that connection. And so one of the things, a quote I'd like to share before we even wrap up is that you don't have to be perfect to change, but you do have to change to even reach perfection. And that's normally the part that we struggle with. Is everybody wants transformation because that's a nice, sexy word, but to get to transformation requires change.
Wow, that's powerful. I often say that transformation is a result of implementing impactful information. And that's what you've given today. And so, folks, I want you to not just ooh and ah over it, but you've got to assimilate it. You've got to let it seep deep inside. And so, Teresa King has been blowing up my phone. Let me unmute her and let her say a word of gratitude to you real quick.
Thank you.
Thank you. Text. Go ahead, Teresa King, the queen.
Good morning, Dr. Breakthrough. Good morning, everyone. Becky, thank you so much. That has been one of the things. Your life model is my life model. I would get to that point, and I have been on the precipice so many times that it's crazy. And I was like, I'm tired of being on the precipice. I want to jump over this thing. You have nailed it, and I'm so grateful because I hear your heart. You're authentic. You feel like a close, warm friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Just bless me.
Well, listen, I got Marvelous Mary Warren out there, and I know she got something to say to you. I know we got to wrap it up, but Marvelous Mary, come on and say something. And
oh my gosh, I'm sitting here like Shantae in tears. I'm like, that's just it, God. That's why I get on these calls every morning, because it's that spiritual vitamin. And you just captivated where I am and just put it all out there. And I am just so not only encouraged, but inspired to keep on moving forward. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome. Thank you so much.
Oh my
Keep
gosh.
moving forward. I'm telling you, it will try to, thoughts will try to take over and take up all the space in our head unless we stand up and fight those. And it's really calling it what it is. And a lot of times we don't like to call it out loud, but we got to call it.
We've got to call it. We've got to call it. Thank you so much for calling it and helping
You're
us
welcome.
to do that.
Thank you.
Wow. As a matter of fact, Becky, I was preaching Sunday. I mentioned don't allow the negativity in your head to keep you from getting ahead. And as a matter of fact, you have to repopulate some powerful principles in your head that will empower you to break through and get ahead. And that's what you're talking about here. I got to do this. Mr. Willie Langley, he's our senior, 86 years wise. Matter of fact, his son is now in charge of the whole Marine base and so forth. But Mr. Langley, this guy jumps. He calls me his mentor. But I tell him, I said, no, but you're my hero, because when I'm 86, I'm going to still be building businesses and jumping on calls. And, you know, I do a meeting in Houston. He jumps, puts his wife in the vehicle. They drive all the way from Fort Worth to Houston and brings people. I mean, just incredible. So, Mr. Langley, I just wanted to give you a word to show some time and say so gratitude to our sister. Your lines are muted, Mr. Langley. Uh-oh. Your phone might be muted still, sir. You probably have to hit the unmute button on your phone, and because you're now unmuted. Okay. Okay, Mr. Langley, I'm not sure what's going on there. So anyway, all righty. Well, Coach 100K, of course, he's dedicated his life and his lovely queen empowering 100,000 families to experience a six-figure lifestyle. And he's actually one that started this call. Just incredible gentleman. The heart is just big as Texas, incredible. And so I know he's got a final word to say. But it's such a joy to work alongside with you, Coach. And Coach, I'm putting a vote in that Sister Becky's going to come and speak once a month, whether she wants to or not.
I second that emotion. Well, I tell you what, I know time's far spent, but Becky, thank you so much. Dr. Breakthrough, thank you for, and Les, thank you for your connection, the collaboration to make this happen. And I just wanted to say I was reading on your website, and it was very touched by your story when you almost died and brought you to realize life was short. And I like your quote that says, today's not promised. You know, people always say tomorrow's not promised, but you said today's not promised. So make sure you live right now. And so, wow, that was pretty powerful. So, hey, listen, a lot we can say, but we'll have you back again, I'm sure. I trust we will. And you made a great impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Langley, was that you? Did you make it on?
Oh yes, I made it on.
Hey, man. Well, I just wanted to have you say a word, if you don't mind. You're the senior on the line, and my Bible tells me to honor, and then, of course, my wife, my ABCD, adorable brown caramel delight, she always just loves on seniors, and she's helped me to have a great affection for seniors. And so, is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, I don't have much to say right now, but I'm thank God that I'm still around and about to enjoy another birthday in a few days. I'm going to be leaving 86. I'll be 87 in a few days.
Wow.
And, I tell people I'm living on borrowed time because my dad, he didn't make it to 50. So God saw fit to let me stay here. I don't know the reason why, but I appreciate it.
Wow. And your son is he's in charge of the Marine base, right? What is he, third star general or something in the Marines?
No, he's a 2-star, and they keep him busy. You don't get a chance to enjoy the Florida weather. They got him going overseas, to speak to other troops to make plans and things of that nature. And but all I say, I just thank God to let a man of his caliber come through my lineage.
Wow.
And people, I was born way back in the backwoods, and I never would imagine anything like that would happen to me. And I thank you for being here.
Well, thank you, sir. Yes, Becky, he was a sharecropper years ago, and now he's a shareholder. Come on, somebody.
That's what I'm saying.
So
that's
can
what
we
I'm talking about.
We'll just wish you let's wish you a happy birthday, Mr. Langley. 87.
Happy birthday.
Wow. So alrighty, folks, well listen, we had church, we had a family reunion, we had a training session, we had it all. And so again, if you want to get a hold of her books or information, BeckyADavis.com. So much more. Becky, we've got to have you back. Les didn't exaggerate when he said about how good you were, and of course, whenever he makes a recommendation, we love to go ahead in there and follow along because the man is a man of action, and we appreciate him very much. So we're going to unmute the lines, and folks, I want you to show some appreciation. Oh, wait! Before I do that, Pamela Cooper from Mississippi. We got to hear that little draw real quick. She never thought she could make ambassador with the company, and she broke through ambassador in record time. And she's been doing things that she just never dreamed. And I know she resonated with your story. Pamela, you out there? Your lines are muted. Pamela Cooper, you have your phone muted? Okay, Pamela. All righty. I just want you to hear that incredible draw she has. And she just has so much appreciation. Yeah, and everything you said, I mean, we've had some conversation. And so, as a matter of fact, I want you to do this, Becky, because I actually did this with Pamela. I said, Pamela, I'm going to give you permission to succeed. So, Becky, some people, they need, they just need to hear from somebody else, right, that I give you permission. So would you, for all the men, all the women, all the entrepreneurs, all the people on this line, in case they need the permission to hear from someone else, would you go ahead and give them that?
I will, and I would give them the permission this way, because I had to let it sit down inside of me and believe it too. And that permission is, it's okay to be great. It's okay to stand in your greatness. It's okay to be absolutely amazing at a particular thing that you kill it. You nail it all the time. It's okay to be great, and it's okay to feel the greatness, to know that you're great, and to walk in the power that you are great, because everyone else wants to tell us that, that's arrogant. That's, oh, now you're thinking you're better than someone else. No, I don't have to think any of that, but I do know that I am really good at what I do. And to say that out loud, it's okay for me to be great. It's okay for me to get greater. It's okay for me to stand in my greatness, to seek my greatness. It's so much more inside of you than what you see right now. The only way you're going to get to see that other side of you is to know that it's okay for you to be great. It's okay. You're great. Accept it. Feel it. Say it out loud to yourself over and over and over. People say fake it till you make it. I say it till you become it. It's okay to be great. Everyone is great. You're great.
We're great, and you're great,
You're
Sister
great.
Becky. And I give you permission to take the next level and the next level and the next level and the next level. Since you gave it to us, we're giving it back to you. So, Coach, you can stop the recording, and then if we unmute the lines and let everyone show their appreciation to Becky A. Davis. And again, thank you, Les Carter. Happy birthday, Mr.